Hey guys, welcome back to Catadactyl. I'm Kat, and on this channel I like to talk about books and my life in Japan. So as I'm sure you guys can probably tell by the title, I am doing a book review today for Ruby by Cynthia Bond. So this is one of those books that is really unjustly scored quite low on Goodreads. I don't know why, but it's in the 3s. And for me, this is a really solid 4.5 5-star book. Cynthia Bond said she experienced a lot of sexual abuse and also had some run-ins with sex trafficking, and also the narratives of her family that she weaves in involve racism in the South and racial tensions as times changed throughout the US. And these were all woven into this story alongside absolutely beautiful, beautiful natural world imagery. So we follow Ruby, who is the main heroine of this story. Ruby is an extremely beautiful little girl, and the townspeople, dote on her and give her a lot of things that maybe the other kids don't get. She gets to go work in town for white folk during the week to make some extra money. And then as she's coming of age, she decides to move out of Liberty and go to the Big Apple of New York City, where she experiences a completely different type of lifestyle. And then something happens that drags her back to Liberty, and then things kind of go from there. So as we open, I didn't realize that we would meet Ruby when she is so old. So we meet Ruby when she has returned from New York City, and we meet the secondary main character, Ephraim, also when he is in his 40s. So Ephraim comes from a very broken and abusive childhood home as well. Alcoholism, physical abuse, mental abuse, abandonment, and these types of things shape Ephraim into the man he currently is. And it was really interesting, sorry my dog, and it was really interesting having a story start from kind of when they are older, like much, much older, because a lot of the story is told that way so that when a character acts a certain way, she kind of tells the narrative thread back as it pertains to each character, and she does it so well. I really don't like when authors tell you about what a character is doing now and then give you a bunch of back history, but in this novel it was so amazing. The way she writes is so lyrical, so evocative, and really visceral, and she's really not afraid to write just with utter rawness and brutality. And so I had to put this book down about a half of the way, 3/4 of the way through, just a little bit, just to give myself some breathing time. But because I was consuming this book so quickly that all of the different things that were happening were really inundating me, and I was starting to get a little overwhelmed for the characters because you really do feel for them so much. So, like I said, Ephraim is our secondary main character, and as a child, he fell in love with Ruby, but something happened and they didn't end up being together or being friends in childhood very much, and when she comes back, he starts to take notice of her again, but so do all the other men in the town. And so after a decade passes, Ephraim has grown to be basically his sister's kind of whipping boy, and he really just takes the orders of everyone else in the town, and he has largely stopped thinking for himself. He's forgot how to do that. And so Ruby is kind of a lost soul that is very broken, and also trying to keep different parts of the natural world and different parts of, like, I want to say voodoo southern mysticism alive and balanced, which other people can't see. And then Ephraim is trying to battle the political and religious kind of atmosphere of the town. And the tension in this book is really amazing. I didn't know what was going to happen until the very end, and it was definitely so worth it. So if you are looking for a really amazing book that deals with racial tensions in America and also the pain of lived experiences, then I think this would be a really, really powerful book for you to read. Cynthia Bond said that when people live through such gruesome experiences, the least that other people can do is listen to their stories. So in this case, I am so utterly glad that I read this book. It will stay with me for a very long time. I think that the writing style, combined with the heavy subject matter, combined with the really amazing plot and the back history of every single character, she fleshed out so well and is a really great look at that period in the South. I think this might be in my top books for the year. So if you're looking for a very quick read that is lyrical yet very, very powerful, I would highly, highly recommend Ruby by Cynthia Bond. I just can't say enough great things about it. So that finishes up the book review. I hope that you will read this book. I really, really enjoyed it. It is a buddy read I'm doing with an aunt. If you liked this video, then please go ahead and give me a thumbs up or hit the subscribe button to see more like this. Usually I review books that I really, really like, and I will chat to you guys later. Have an absolutely amazing day, and I will say bye for now. Toodles!